Yeah, yeah. YouTube, excuse my foolishness. Hey, welcome back to the channel. I gotta have a little bit more energy because this is now my second take of this damn video. Now, like I said, this is the second take to the video. I'm high-key upset because I had finished it, bro. And I went in there and I was about to edit and record, or I was editing the video and the fucking gameplay was dumb loud. It sounded like World War II in this bitch. While I was trying to talk, I was in the mic like this talking to niggas. So what you want to do is you want to use this gun because of this, and it has a great feature to it. That was me. Now, today's video is gonna focus on my first ever weapons tier list. I've never done one before. Don't mind it saying season 8 weapons tier list. It was the only one I could find, so obviously, you know, the bow check's not gonna be on the little bottom shader part, but I'll let you guys know where it is on the list. And I'll also get into the firing range a little bit on this video and show you guys some of the numbers to the guns and why I think they are where they supposed to be, or why I feel like they are where I want them to be on the tier list. Yeah, let's get into the video. Seen it with my eyes. Dope still alive. Real mom eyes. Real bro eyes. Real old eyes. All time high. Do it for the culture. They gon' fight like vultures. Way back when I was trapping, not Toyotas. I'ma hit the gas. Truck can't pull me over. We gonna go from D to S tier. D tier guns, let me just go ahead and explain this real quick, man. D tier guns are gonna be ones that are guns that I would quickly try and replace. Now, quick disclaimer, obviously this is all opinion based. This is just my thoughts and opinions on the guns and where I believe they are. I would also like to state that I think Apex did a really good job with making most of these guns balanced and valuable. You know what I'm saying? Like, you can just about use any gun and still perform pretty well. It's just obviously there are guns that are, as we all know, better than the next gun to run. So starting us off in D tier, man, let's not even waste no time. I'm gonna go ahead and put 3 guns in there right now, straight off rip, and we'll go through them one by one. Starting it off, the P2020, RE45, and the charge rifle. These 3 guns are all going to be D tier in my honest opinion. Now, I'm not gonna go into the firing range with these because I did already test the numbers out earlier, but the 2020, even though it does do slight more damage now with the recent little buff, they did slightly nerf it as well with taking down the fire rate. So the 2020 is never gonna be something where you pick up and you're gonna run around all game long with a 2020 and just wreck shit and win. You know what I'm saying? Like, you're not doing that. Moving on, we got the RE45. I like it. I think it's a good gun. It's got good fire rate. It's like the 99's baby cousin. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's the little cousin. Good fire rate, but the damage is just not enough to where I would say, yeah, run around with a RE45 all day. You know what I'm saying? Like, even if you mix in some body and headshots, you're not ripping through people fast enough, especially if they got better guns. Then finally, we got the charge rifle. And I'm gonna be real, bro. This gun was good in the early release when it first came out. Everybody was running it. There was no real fall off damage. It was the most annoying fucking gun in the game, and I'm glad that it got a nerf. They did something to the ammo size, but even that wasn't a good enough like buff to it, because you get 8 bullets, right? But every shot you take is 2 of your little ammos. So instead of going, oh, I have 8, now I have 7, it's, oh, I have 6 after I just shot from my 8. And there are no extendeds to put on there, so you're stuck with just your 3 shots, really. That's all it is. You get 3 shots. Next up in the list, we got the good old Havoc. Now, Havoc is going to be C tier in my opinion, simply because of that drawback without the turbocharger. Without the turbocharger, it takes too long for that Havoc to really get ready to push out that damage. It does hit and it has good numbers, but that slight drawback when somebody has, for example, let's say a 301 or a flatliner or something like that, There is no delay, and in a fast-paced game like Apex, every second counts. And while you're trying to charge that damn thing up for that split second before the first shot goes off, you could have already been shot 5 to 6 different fucking times, and now it's gonna be the reason you lost that gunfight. Like, I said this in the first take. How many of y'all, and be real with me, how many of you niggas have gotten out there and said, damn, if I did not have a Havoc, I would not have lost that gunfight? I have said that shit plenty of times, bro. If I didn't have a Havoc, I'm winning that gunfight. I know the turbocharger changes things. That turbocharger makes this gun super valuable. But the downside is, again, how often do you run across a damn turbocharger? Those things are rare. It's like finding a 4-leaf clover, nigga. That's how rare it is to find a turbocharger in this fucking game. So C tier is where I'm gonna leave it. Moving on, we have the Sentinel. Now, the Sentinel is in C tier because of very few reasons, and I'll get into the firing range to show you guys why. Okay, in the firing range finally, and now I can show you guys why I say the Sentinel is where it is on this tier list. So, as you guys know, with body shots with the Sentinel, you hitting them for about 70. I don't deny that this gun hits like a fucking truck, bro. I know it does. And then with headshots, you're getting about 140. Excuse me. So there's no denying that this gun is a hard hitter. Like, it's second hardest hitting sniper in the game next to the Kraber. But this is the drawback with this gun. So as you guys see, you shoot and you have that long ass animation. I feel like that animation prevents this gun from being higher up in the tier list than what it could be. Yes, it does hit hard, but that animation alone is just too long. There are other guns that I would choose before I would even pick up a Sentinel, in my honest opinion, and that's why I put it where it is on the tier list, because of that animation. It prevents it from being a higher weapon. Next up on this list, hold on. Next up on the list, we got the Mozambique. Mozambique is gonna be C tier a lot because of the fact that they gave it an extra bullet. Now, I could be wrong. I think it's 6. I think it is 6. So I've definitely seen videos and people have been running around with double Mozams, or they run it as their primary. I'm gonna be real. You can if you that good, but I think them niggas is crazy, bro. I definitely think that the gun is better. It's not the troll gun of the game anymore. The Mozambique, again, I tested these numbers for myself, was hitting for about 45 on body shots and anywhere between 55 and 60 on headshots, if I'm not mistaken. But I was messing around as well, like kind of going back and testing the range on it. The Mozambique can hit decently hard from mid-range as well. The lowest damage I got with the damage fall off was 15, and that was one time, bro. Other than that, the gun was smacking for the same numbers consistently from close and mid-range. The last gun we have in C tier, believe it or not, y'all, is the Mastiff. The Mastiff is a C tier weapon. Why, you ask? Don't worry, I'll explain it. You ever get into a game where you see a Mastiff and then you just light up with joy? You like, ooh, a Mastiff, I'm about to fuck niggas up, right? So you can't wait to get up close and real personal with a nigga. And you know what I'm saying? You take that first shot, you like, ooh shit, I hit this nigga for 60 something, whatever the fuck you might hit him for. Then that next shot, you like, I'm about to really fuck this nigga whole day up. You hit him for 11. The Mastiff is too inconsistent, bro. It does not have a lick of consistency with it. And that reason alone is going to put you over at C tier. Now, I'm not saying it don't hit hard. When it decides to hit, it smacks nigga shit. But who wants to run around with a inconsistent gun? You know what I'm saying? Like, that's like running around and you know you're getting ready to play a whole bunch of Pathfinders before when he was still broken, and it was like, fuck, I know I'm guaranteed to get at least 3 hit markers on every fucking Pathfinder I run across. That shit ain't fun. Same thing applies with this sorry ass Mastiff. It's not fun to run around and see you hitting niggas for fucking 11 when you in they fucking face. That shit is annoying. All right, moving on to B tier. I'm gonna just go ahead and throw this in there right now, is the longbow. The gun that is gonna hit somebody for about 50 to 55 on body shots and 90 on headshots, bro, because of that skull piercing damage multiplier that is now a part of the gun permanently. The longbow needs to have a lot more respect put on it. It's definitely better, obviously, in my opinion. It's better than every gun below it, and it would be the best sniper in the game if they didn't already put the Kraber in there. And you know what I mean, the Kraber is king of snipers, obviously. Next up, we got the EVA 8. The EVA 8, man, hey, I'm pretty sure it's a lot of people out there that are 50-50 about it, but the EVA 8 is going to be more of that consistent type of shotgun. It might be the most consistent shotgun, y'all. I'm gonna be real. I definitely have hit people for 15 with it, but that 15 doesn't bother me as much because, for example, if you have a blue or a purple shotgun bolt on it, if you have a blue or a purple shotgun bolt on this thing, it's definitely got the fire rate to make up for that inconsistent 15, and that rarely happens for me. Like, I'm pretty consistent on the damage numbers that it pushes out. That, like I said, the fire rate really helps this gun out, and I think that is what jumps it up to B tier for me, especially since it already hits kind of hard with the damage. Next up on this list, we got the Devotion. So I'm putting the Devotion ahead of the Havoc simply because it does not take that long charge up time with the gun getting ready to fire. So with the Devotion, as you guys know, you're gonna hit for about 16 on the chest shot and a 32 on the headshot. Now, this is without me trying to control the recoil. This is the analog stick right here. I know you guys can't see because of how dark it is, but I'm just gonna put my finger on the trigger, and that is the kick to it. So it just slightly goes up and sways left just a tad bit and right a little bit. Now, with this, it's a simple fix. All you do is slightly hold it down and the Devotion's recoil is gone, and that would be the only drawback. You could say, oh, well, it takes a while to charge up and then for those shots to really matter. But on the first 3 shots, you're really pretty much already juiced up. Moving on this list, we got the Havoc, or the Hemlock. The Hemlock deserves to be in B tier, man. And if you guys want to argue and say A tier, I'm all ears. Definitely let me know down in the comment section why you think it should be there, and we could definitely talk about it. But I think the B tier spot is a good place for the Hemlock. Is just a great balanced gun in the game, and I see no real flaws to it. Next up, we got the 30-30 repeater. Now, this gun is B tier solely, well, not solely, but one of the biggest reasons it's B tier is because I feel like when the gun first dropped, it was lackluster. It wasn't a gun that wowed you, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's a good gun, but it wasn't like a wow, this shit is amazing. Again, very good gun, and the damage on it is amazing. We'll get into the firing range so I can show you what I mean. So you get your 30-30, right? And for those of you that are curious, we gonna go ahead and do the test. This is a charged up 30-30 to the chest, hitting 57, not bad. 42 non-charged up. Charged up headshot, 100. Non-charged up headshot, you're gonna hit for about 74. So the gun has the damage. It can definitely push out the damage. If you're quick tapping it and you're trying to get those headshots, you know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, possibly it'll take somebody out decently quick, but I just think, you know, with it hitting 42 so much on the body shots, I think that's what's gonna keep it at B tier, because 9 times out of 10 most players are only going to be hitting body shots, and if they are hitting headshots, it's gonna be very few in between that are gonna get that occasionally, because most people are gonna get about the body shots. So especially since this game is so huge on movement, so I think that and the reload animation are what's gonna keep the 30-30 as a B tier. Not a bad weapon, I wouldn't say no to picking it up, but there are better options. Next up, we got good old reliable G7 in the B tier. Another marksman rifle right alongside the 30-30 in there. And the G7 it's definitely had his moment where it was reigning supreme and it was the meta gun, which was back in season 4. And man, I'm gonna tell you, I definitely loved back when the G7 was the go-to gun. I understand that they needed to balance it out and get rid of that, but it was extremely fun to use, man. Definitely fun to use. All right, moving on with this list, man. I gotta try to wrap this up a little bit, so I'm gonna move a little bit quicker. Moving on, we got the L-Star. Now, the L-Star is also one of those guns that's kind of in the 50-50 spot right now with the Apex community. You got some people that are saying that it's overpowered and it needs a nerf, and then you have other people that are saying that it's ass. It's not one of the top guns picked. I think it's still good. They definitely helped it with all that damn muzzle flash bullshit that you were getting before, but I still don't think that the L-Star is meta. It's not a gun that as soon as you see it, you pick it up and you just excited because now you got the ultimate cheat code to win the whole game. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's a solid gun through and through, and I think that's all I can really say about it. Now, moving on up into the A tier, we got the Wingman, and the Wing-a-Ding, man, I'ma just be real. It's been that gun since the drop of Apex Legends, in my honest opinion, bro. I know it kind of took a little hit for a second with the damage, and they took away some of the ammo and shit like that, but now recently they gave the ammo back. They gave the damage back, so you hitting people for 45 on bodies and you hitting them for 90 on headshots, and it's a rewarding feeling when you use the Wingman and you popping off with that shit and you just dropping niggas. Like, it make me feel like a fucking god when I'm hitting my shots with the Wingman. Like, if I'm on, bro, and I'm not putting it down for the rest of the day. Next up, we got the good old alternator. Now, before y'all say anything, yes, the alternator is going to be an A tier gun. Would y'all believe it if I told you that Respawn has come out stating that the alternator has a higher win rate than the 99? I said, nigga, ain't no way. Y'all niggas is trolling. Y'all trolling. There's no way in hell the alternator has a higher win rate than the fucking 99. It does, though. Now, with the alternator, man, one of the things that I love about it, and I haven't talked about this on a lot of other guns, but this is more so just like a bonus for this gun in particular. I love the iron sight on it. As y'all can see, you kind of already get like a somewhat sight with it, and there are a lot of times I'll run around with the no sight alternator because I'm mainly going to use this gun for close combat type shit, and maybe the farthest I'll get is about 20 meters out. As you guys can see right there, yeah, about 20 meters, and I'll just start going to work with it. Now, the alternator has a double barrel, as most people do know already, which I believe allows it to hit much harder and rip through people's shit in a quicker sense. Now, just to show you guys the numbers, because I almost forgot to do those, you're hitting people for about 16 on the body shot. Whoops. And about 24 on headshots. You get in a few body shots and then mix in some headshots, you can kill a dummy with one clip. And this is with no extendos, with nothing, no barrel stabilizer, none of that stuff. All right, next up, we got the bow check, y'all. Now, bow check is a tier weapon, in my honest opinion. Even though they did nerf it, they took the body shots down by 10, as you guys can see right here. Instead of doing 70, it now does 60, and headshots are now 105. Instead of 115, 125, I think it was 125. I could be wrong, y'all. I don't remember completely, but it was around there, and now it's 105. Still not bad at all. This is the quick tap version of it. You're gonna only get about 25 on the body shot and about 31 on the headshot. And more than likely, you're gonna use this gun at like a mid to long range, so you're not gonna have to worry too much about the quicker taps. And if you get the attachment for it, you know, you can charge up decently quick from mid range. So I think even with that little bit of a damage nerf that they gave the bow, it's still super valuable, and it's good enough in my opinion to be A tier. Next up on the list, we got good old faithful returning back to us, and that's the PK. Seeing the PK without charging it up, body shots are gonna hit for 99. Y'all gonna tell me that's not OP? Headshots 110. I just hit this whole dummy for 121 with a headshot. That's slightly aiming it higher. 88. Okay, you want to say that's inconsistent? That's still fine. I'm still hitting in the 90s/80s with this damn thing. Yeah, it gave me 11 on that one, but he was just one tap. That's 121, 88. You know what I'm saying? Like, and this is not even charged up. All right, now moving into our final gun in A tier, and it's the Flatline. The Flatline, man, this gun could definitely arguably be a S tier weapon. And I will gladly put it S tier if everybody in the comments, if there are any comments, agree that the Flatline should be S tier. I really enjoy this gun. It's one of my favorites in this game. It hits harder than the 301. The only downside to it is it does not shoot as fast, and the recoil is slightly worse than the 301s. Spitfire, in my opinion, is going to be A tier, y'all. The little bit of a nerf they gave it, they really only took it down 1 damage, but they took the clip magazines down by 5 on every single one of them. With that, I think that's gonna be a good enough reason to have it as A tier, but also we could bring in the fact that your strafing ability with the Spitfire is heavily impacted because it's a big ass turret gun. You know what I'm saying? Like, you're not moving around as fast. You're really just hoping for this gun to shred through a nigga's armor, and you're winning that gunfight simply because it's a better gun, or you didn't miss a single shot and you can spray and pray all fucking day with it. So I think right now Spitfire A tier, arguably even S tier. Now, coming up on the final stretch of the video, let me just go ahead and say this first. Care package weapons are automatically going to be S tier, so let's go ahead and throw them up in there right now. Starting us off, we got the Volt. The Volt's been good as shit since they released this gun, man. It's been consistent with its damage. It has a great iron sight to it. It doesn't hit extremely hard, but it hits very consistently with very little recoil to it and a pretty good fire rate. Again, not the greatest, but a pretty damn good fire rate. I think personally that the Volt is a S tier weapon. Now, if they drop the damage off on it one more time, then I'll say it's not. It's going to be more A tier / B tier. But current Volt is definite S tier. Next up, we got old reliable, the 99. The 99 is S tier, even though yes, the damage is not hitting all that hard. It's the fire rate that saves it. The fire rate, you can have a gray mag, blue mag, shit, and sometimes, depending on the situation, no magazine clip, and you can one clip niggas if you're hitting your shots consistently. This is my all-time favorite gun in this game. No other gun has replaced it, and yeah, they did pull down the damage on the 99 slightly, but it didn't affect it in any type of negative way. This gun is still stupid good. The only thing is, there is a slight learning curve to it because you have to be able to control that recoil, and this shit has major recoil, bro. For the last spot in S tier, man, y'all already know who we got. To me, the poster child of the game, the 301. Now, the 301, like I stated before with the Flatline, in my opinion, is a better Flatline. It shoots faster than the Flatline. It's more accurate than the Flatline. And you're not gonna notice nearly as much when it comes to the recoil when you're starting to go out farther. Like how I said with the Flatline, you go past a smidge bit behind that mid-range and you're now closer to that long range area. The Flatline starts to struggle a little bit with this recoil. The 301 does not. The 301 strives in all aspects of this game, and it's just it's one of the best ARs in the game, man. There's nothing else I could really say about it. And honestly, with that, that's gonna conclude the video, man. That's my tier list on the weapons for season 9. I don't know what they're gonna do for the second half, obviously, but I wanted to get this out before then. And with this list, again, keep in mind, y'all, this is my personal opinion on it. This is how I value weapons in Apex when I'm playing pubs, and for sure how I value weapons when I'm in ranked. With that being said, man, I hope this was helpful. I hope you guys were able to learn something. If you guys didn't know some of these things about these guns, hopefully this video was able to give you a good insight on that. And yeah, man, thank you guys for staying and watching the whole thing. I'm gonna have the timestamps in there so you don't have to worry about, you know, obviously you guys didn't have to worry about going through it and finding it. But with that, I'm gonna catch y'all in the next one, man.